Hello everyone. Now let's start with the other unit. That is the unit 3 that is about technical assessment of 21st century skill. Here's the content that we discuss in this unit that have the first introduction, second structure interview, third situation judgment test, four role play, five group exercise, six in basket assignment, four work example, and eight is the performance standard approaches. So let's move to the first page. First part is the introduction. So what are the technique of assessment? What the component the technique of assessment have? So it can be helped as like such an interview, work sample, performance standard, group assignment, is book exercise, role play, and situational assessment test. So in this video in this unit, we will go through to the each point of the technique or each part of the technique assessment. So let's start with the first part of the technique of the assessment. So the first is the structured interview. Yeah, what does a structured interview mean? A structured interview uses a standard set of questions to assess student interpersonal communication and leadership or the team skill. So the procedure can be the same. Per determine the question to all students in the same order and rate them with a standard scoring. For example, what is your leadership style? So you can be prepare the question to be asked your student, or you can be asked the or can be asked your the employees or student, or you have to be invitation to improve their ability. So, for example, what is your leadership style? Can you share an example of a teamwork that you have experienced? Can you tell me about a time when you manage an important project? Can you tell me about a moment where you have a college a result and issue? So, based on a student answer, you can observe and you can the observation of other student, so you can check what kind of student in their contact. So you can be prepared the question based on the project, based on the area that you focus with your student. So based on this question that you ask the student, so you can be observation that what kind of student is that contact based on the observation that your student answer. So the next is the situational judgment test. A situational judgment is intended to measure a variety of soft skills by presenting individual with a short scenario as well as the number of response. Students are asked to choose the best response for that scenario or read the response in order of most appropriate to less the appropriate. Hudson said that a situated adjustment test is less expensive than only a role play or group exercise. In this test, the candidate is presented with a 30 hypothetical situation and list of the 5 to the 8 possible response to the situation. The candidate may be asked to select the most and less effective option or only the more effective option. The scoring of the test is based on the effectiveness of the option the candidate select. So the first sample of the situation judgment test designed to assess adaptabilities by a host. Yet the candidate is presented with the situation in which his or she is worked internally to finish a report for his or her supervisor. When the supervisor called to say his or she would like to touch base about the candidate progress on another project in 1 hour. The optional the respondent from the getting as much of the report that's the possible with the hour to the explaining the supervisor about unfinishing a report and asking for the extension on the report deadline. The same situation can be represented either in the print or by the video and the candidate respond in the writing. This one say that this type of test is much less expensive to administer than only a role play or group exercise. The test is developed by identifying the skill to be assessed, creating realistic situation or problem in consultation with subject a mirror response, generating a multi-response option for each situation, and devising or scoring a system to determine the effectiveness of each optional or response. So the next part is the role play. The students are provided with the written information about risky situation that may involve a non-routine problem. Yeah, like after a period of time to prepare for the role play, the persons their response to the situation or the assessor read the response using behaviorally a code a ranking scale with describe a specific behavior. So the game-based learning principle was applied to students at a role-play simulation of the company are working on the project in an athletic setting which includes development of soft skills. Previous research have indicated that role-play have the potential to include a learning compared to a traditional teaching and provide insight to leadership situation and emulate the situation associated with this which a student may encounter as employee, thereby provide an opportunity to develop skill of collaboration and communication. So what the kind of activity that you can be used in a role play to be tested for your student to be improve their ability. So you can be start the topic, the one activity like you can ask a student as a role play to say her or his product to a client because in the registration when they finish their university their study they need to be go to the real life work. So the real life work, so like if they are the business owner, they need to be experienced. So you can be a role play or there's some activity that can be have benefit to them to practice in the real life. And a second example, the organization or objective with a different stakeholder and simulating a company. Basket indicate the number of students in each company department in certain rule and project consultant. So it's about the group exercise. It's the next part, So the development, administration, and scoring of from exercise are similar to the role play. The critical difference is that students work in group to address the problem or respond to a situation, making process to assess their interactive skill as the negotiation, perception, and teamwork. The group exercise sometimes can be similar to the role play because like you see in the role play we have the one activity or we have the one exercise that as a student to be role play, for example, like to share her product to client. So sometimes it can be work individual, sometimes it can be work to group to be achieve this activity. And a group assignment, So, and what kind of activity that you can be give to the student during they do the group assignment to be improve their ability. So you can be consider like the four activity that I show you like startup ideation. So you can be let them work in group to be create a one idea based on the project that you give them. So we can be let them improve their ideation development also can be improve them about the way how to be work as a group to be the scratch job. And the second example like team building game. So in the team building game, you also can be the one activity to be applied in group exercise in to your students. So your student can be learn about how to be work as a team and so the ability to be wins the game. And they also can be learn how each other in their group to be achieve the one goal. And the next is the in-basket exercise. An in-basket exercise is an activity that can assess how well students perform job-related tasks with a center of time. So example, the in-basket job simulation, you are asked to influence the role of supervisor or manager in function parts. You receive information about the facility, the staff, and the measures issues affecting the facility. In addition, you will be presented with a series of voice, message, and email message that have accumulated in your basket. You must read this material and then outline your strategy for solving a problem, making decision, developing plan, emergency program, delegating responsibility, setting priority and information and other. You must answer a series of multiple choice questions that address the management competency from the situation in basket material such as decision making and problem solving, planning and research management, performance and research management, managing and organizing information, and SAM management. And the next is the work sample. Work sample tests the required student to perform tasks or work activity that mirrors the task employee performs on the job. So this is an example for work example. If you are auntie, so you could include the prototype of your painting in illustration, or sculpture, or chief of the baker. You can be a photograph of your commentary or creation is your dancer, actor, museum, the video or audition recording. So you can be see the more example in this table on this slide. So, and the next is the performance standard upper source. Performance-based assessment is summative or strategy to assess student knowledge as well as their ability to apply knowledge in the real world situation. Short novel describe the formal assessment in the student and asked to perform a real world task that demonstrate a meaningful application of essential knowledge and skill. Intensity or the way a student perform against a standard or benchmark the student as the task in using the skill and knowledge from the course. It is about getting the student to solve a real life situation by applying the skill and knowledge they have mastered. For example, after call on the good citizenship, the researcher can ask the student to talk about what they will do is on, or the other about a bus when or the seat are taken or how they will or complete. And the last is about the student. So back on you, listen to back on you can be listen to my presentation, about the role play of anything about this the technique or assessment. So at the end of this unit, we also have the test and quiz and assignment to the student to the practice to improve their ability. So for the student test in this unit, we require the student to ask the team, and each team need to be create one product and role play as a product to the customer. So you can be see the real the more your assignment, the task in the document quiz and assignment or the work in the folder. So here's the reference that you can be use the reference to be short notes about this topic. And now my presentation in this unit is finished. Thank you for your attention.